We met in the springtime when blossoms unfold. The pastures were green and the meadows were gold. Our love was in flower as summer grew on. Her love, like the leaves, now have withered and gone. The roses have faded, there's frost at my door. The birds in the morning don't sing anymore. The grass in the valley is starting to die, and out in the darkness the whippoorwills cry.
How would you define The Last of Us as a game? In a sentence.
One sentence?
Yeah.
The Last of Us is a new action survival game from Naughty Dog that really explores the emotional relationships between these two characters, Joel and Ellie, in this post-pandemic America.
Can you tell us a little bit about the story? You told us in the presentation that through the game we'll see the relationship of Joel and Ellie going through some problems. Are we going to see the relationship going deeper?
The relationship is definitely at the focus of the game, of exploring how two people change when faced with the obstacles of this type of world. When you have this great external pressure like the infected, what impact does that have on other people trying to survive? So when you run into somebody, what does it mean to face someone that is experiencing such desperation? So our story starts with these two meeting, and Joel is attempting to deliver her to this group. He doesn't really care why. He's not interested. Joel is just focused on survival. And through events, they now need to travel further than expected, and you get to start to see their relationship develop.
I'd like to know, why did you choose to work on the PS3 and not wait until the more powerful PS4? Didn't that limit a bit the world you're trying to create?
How much are you pushing the PlayStation 3?
I noticed by the load times you pushed it quite a bit.
We looked at the story that we wanted to do, and we looked at the settings that we wanted to create graphically, and we felt like we could do it with PS3, and I felt like we could get started. This game's been developed for 3.5 years. We felt this story was important. Now we wanted to deliver it. So we didn't need to wait. We didn't feel like we needed to wait, and we felt like we could get this game out and deliver it to our fans in a way. So we didn't really see a benefit.
In terms of the story, you released the prequel comics that released some days ago. Can we see any future comics for the fans?
That series, the American Dream series, really excited about that, to get to fill in some more stories like that. I think we're always looking for ways to kind of expand and fill in the world and give more details. So I think that the more the fans love the world, the more you'll see from us.
How deep is the graphic system? How far can it go? What do you expect to create?
You can't build an airplane, or you can't. You can expect there to be a lot of agency in the choices that you're going to have to make within there because supplies are limited. So we talk a lot about that you're going to need to prepare by searching the environment beforehand, making sure that each time you complete a situation that you collect anything around in that space. But it means you're not going to want to necessarily build everything right at first because you're not sure what the situation is going to demand in the next fight. So you might want to have some supplies ready to quickly be able to craft something else. And you might find that you have, whether you make a shiv in order to kill somebody, to just be strictly offensive, whether or not you might use that same shiv to jimmy open the door to then over and get more rewards. So you have this choice, and sometimes you're not going to have that choice. You might think like, I'm going to use this shiv to open a door, but suddenly you're surrounded by infected, and one of them grabs you. You need to use that shiv to survive, and so that choice kind of got taken away. You might now need to search in order to make a move.
I noticed you said in the presentation you were gonna give the players interesting choices. I was wondering if it was gonna be more dynamic or if it was gonna be the standard two-button choice. Go this way.
In terms of the story or the gameplay, well, Naughty Dog, we continue to be interested in delivering a clear narrative. We have a goal for the experience and where the story is heading, and what events transpire for the characters in order to experience this. So you won't be able to change the story. The narrative is linear. If you make it through the game, it'll end the same. But we put a lot of agency and choice into the gameplay, into the mechanics, into the crafting, into the exploration, into the combat in terms of how do you handle each one of these situations, and this creates for us, I think, a nice dynamic of getting. You might have this cutscene where you get to see an emotional moment happen between the two characters, but you're also going to experience that during the combat when Ellie suddenly gets grabbed and you go and save her, and right as you do, she says, "Behind you," and you manage to turn around just at the last second, right? That you get that almost as powerful, if not more, emotional connection to the character through the choices of the gameplay.
We had the opportunity to play the demo downstairs. We saw the engine and the AI, and it looks great. We want to know how about the AI. The AI is, we can see Ellie doing things to help us. Did you ever thought that a co-op mode could be added instead of playing with the co-op box, basically?
A lot of people ask us about this. We feel like because we're so interested in the relationship between those two characters, much in the way of like what I just kind of described in those sequences with Ellie, that if we were to make that another human, it would make the relationship a little bit more about that other human or the choices that human was making, and distract from the story that we were trying to tell. So for now, when we continue to want to explore this deep narrative and really bring out these emotions in the characters, we feel like it's better for the storytelling to not have it.
And I also imagine it would be weird to have a 14-year-old girl killing zombies with a 12-gauge shot.
And you never know who you get partnered with. They might just go and start running into a wall, or not be very good, and I think that would distract from the type of moments we spend a lot of time crafting.
Now, on the previous Uncharted games, you added the multiplayer mode. Will we see the multiplayer mode getting back on Last of Us?
There will be a multiplayer mode.
Can you tell us more about it then?
Can't tell you any more about it today. We're going to be announcing some more about it soon. So I think we will give you a little bit more soon. I think we're planning to release some. I don't have that exact date, but we want to give players a little bit more information about it. But I played it. It's great. It takes like if you can imagine these elements in the single player, this crafting, this agency, this high tension, this lethality, and just think about what that would be like in the multiplayer mode.
To be honest, for me, the story is one of the major points in Last of Us. I was wondering, after the game launch, will we see any post-launch DLC for the single player in terms of story?
We haven't announced anything like that yet.
Well,
Check next.
can everything's covered.
I just have one small question.
Okay.
A personal question
a
for
big
me
fan.
and
He's a big
for me and
Last ones are always sneaky.
where's Jack and Dexter?
Come on, man.
He was always talking. He wanted to ask that. Just wanted to ask that.
Well, where's Jack and Daxter?
It hasn't been forgotten.
No, we have that IP. We think those are wonderful characters. If there ever comes a time when we feel like we could deliver some unique and new experiences to the gaming community, and if there were stories we wanted to explore with those characters, we'd love to bring them back. But we continue to, for now, kind of want to explore some different themes, different tones.
No, I suppose it's definitely a good change for me.
Thank you. But yeah, Jack we'll never forget.
Well, it was a huge pleasure.
Great.
It was a huge pleasure.
Thank you.
You make every shot count. You see, I believe everything happens for a reason.